Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler, powered by Coolbet Canada.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to The Lock Shop, and it is Super Bowl week. It's a great game to bet. We got the props, we got all that fun stuff, but it's also very sad because after the Super Bowl, we will not be betting football again until, CFL preseason. Usually something we can get into a little bit. So it's going to be a big week here. Super Bowl week is obviously big. Tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, Lock Shop will be coming at you live from Park MGM in Vegas as we continue to get you set for the big game. Hustle pop by today as well. We do have two games in the National Hockey League tonight. Finally. However, shout out Connor McDavid, who cashed. I mean, when you go into a skills event and you're sitting here saying, I like Connor McDavid's value in this one. I like Connor McDavid's value in this one. And then he just delivers. It's just a glorious, glorious weekend for all involved. Like, who actually made some bank off the NHL skills, which we don't really say very, very often. I am still stunned that McDavid was, what was it, plus 150 to win fastest skater, but was plus 500 when we got it to win the puck handling event. That might have been the easiest bet of all time. Let's bring in Huss today as the Lock Shop rolls along. Huss, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Cheers to your boy McDavid.
Cheers to Connor McDavid getting her done.
Thank you, Connor. You were right, and we went through it on the Lock Shop. Like once we dug into what that stick handling event really was.
Exactly.
I mean, how was McDavid not going to win that?
Yeah.
And he got it done. And then I really believed, and again, you know the player better than I do, but after going through all of the events, knowing how important, like they did want to add the speed element to a lot of this stuff. He had like the built-in advantage. And I never for a second thought that he'd pull a Kucherov and have a given F level at 0. He's got a lot of pride, and he knows that this is a great opportunity to, maybe just reinforce the fact that he's the best player on the planet. So plus 600 to win the whole thing. Like that was honestly, I took a couple darts in some other events. Like I missed or so. But anyways, it was definitely a great weekend. Great weekend for the Lock Shop overall. And as soon as Dusty gets back in here, hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah, we're good.
But
we're good. It's fixed.
The event. I mean, congratulations to the NHL. I think for putting on a great show. Like whatever about the 3-on-3. It is what it is, and as long as they're going with that sort of a
All right, we are back on the Lock Shop. Apologize for the audio technical difficulties. I'm not sure what was happening there. We were just saying, Connor McDavid, you were laying out the 600 to win it all. I think when we lost it.
You know what? Kind of once we broke it down and realized that so many of these events were involving skating, speed, kind of combined stick handling. I heard Merrick today talking, and I thought he made a really good point. Well, sorry about that. I guess I had the audio on here. Sorry about that. I had the YouTube thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyways, Merrick said that I think they let the marketing people do the skills competition for the last few years. I think the hockey ops people took over.
Put it back in the hands of the hockey crew.
Yeah, and it ended up creating something that was
great, man.
Intriguing. It was fun. Okay, and I wanted to ask you this because again, this is always targeted to younger viewers. Did Marsh and his buddies get a chance to see it? And what did they have to say about it? Because I mean, I think you really want to engage younger fans with an event.
Yeah, we I'm trying to think of our weekend. So Friday, we made sure we got to he had a hockey tournament this weekend. So we had about an hour drive. We got out there, we watched the entire skills competition. We moved around. We went to Boston Pizza, but it was on there, so we watched it. So we managed to consume the entire thing. He loved it, but I know it's geared towards kids, but I loved the skills competition, which I haven't said about an NHL All-Star event in forever. I was like, quiet, Marshall. I'm trying to watch the skills comp. And then the game the next day, they were intrigued by the game because, it's Connor McDavid or whatever. But I thought the skills competition was an absolute grand slam, home run, 10 out of 10. I can't wait for the next one to see if anybody can unseed Connor McDavid. And I know we won't get one next year, obviously, but I loved it. I thought it was outstanding. The only thing I said this morning on our show that I would do differently, I mean, we talked about the draft. It was clunky. I think it'll always be clunky TV. I just hated having their names at the bottom of their jerseys. Outside of that, I thought everything about All-Star Weekend was great.
I don't know. I came around on those jerseys. The first time I saw them, I'm like, oh, these are sort of wild.
On the ice, they were better looking than I thought they'd be. I just hated how sometimes the back of the jersey got tucked in the pants and you couldn't tell who Vetrano was or something. You know what I mean? Like those types of guys. So
couldn't tell who that guy blazing down the ice wearing 97 was.
I knew who that was. That's for sure.
Who is that? And I will say this, the winner of the entire weekend was Tate McRae.
Oh, Tate McRae. We have a new segment on the morning show called I Says Pardon. And today's was Tate McRae. I Says Pardon. She had some Britney Spears vibes going, buddy.
She's on a rocket to the top. It's so obvious. And I get it. I mean, if you're probably 18 or 20 or 22, you were probably very familiar with Tate McRae. I was looking at her streaming numbers. I mean, she's been one of the most streamed artists in 2023. So for old farts like us, we maybe sort of, found out who she was. I remember her being announced and I had no idea who that was. And then over the last couple of weeks, there'd been more talk about her. And like many people on the internet, who's this? Let's do a little bit of a deep dive on it, and found out, some of her music and stuff like that. But first of all, absolutely killed the performance. The Super Bowl is going to be happening next week. And that's one of the things you're right around this area. Last night was the Grammys, not that I watched 1 second of it, but you have all these big star performances around this time of the year. And I thought the NHL, with the production that was involved in her show, absolutely killed it. But the other thing is, I mean, she's from Calgary. She's obviously big into hockey. You see some of her promo pictures and she's, wearing goalie pads and things like that. But I have to say, as a Jets guy, the funniest thing, and it will never not be funny, those pictures of the team McKinnon on the bench of the coaches of Tate McRae and Bone. Rick Bonus. And Bonus is probably 50 years older than her, almost. Yeah. And anyways, the Jets are practicing right now. We're waiting on audio. We'll play it on WST. But I hope that a couple of the younger reporters popped in and asked Bones, how did the coaching meetings go with Tate McRae, Rick? Anyways, she's I think a new Canadian phenom, introduced to a lot of people over the course of the weekend, but that will be far from the last time. Hell, next year I wouldn't be surprised that she's probably involved in the Grammys or something like that.
Oh yeah. She's on a rocket ship.
She's been
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah, no, she's a phenomenal talent, man. It was a great show, and you're right, she was the big winner of the weekend. A couple of text messages rolling in here. I will say, I should have gone back and watched our Friday show when we were doing the All-Star, and we've laid out like the actual, like the final event, and like going through all the pylon. Like as soon as we read that and broke it down, even then I was just like, oh man, McDavid is 6-1. Like, come on, this is very much speed driven. It was an automatic. If it gets back to it again next year, those odds will be drastically different, I think. So we all cashed in at a pretty good pace. This text
there was one other prop that I see Cowboy got on. Like I just went in on the 500 for the stick handling and the 600 overall for McDavid and won both those. There was also one that Cowboy and I think a few other lock shoppers got, also to win over 1.5 first round skills events. And of course he got the fastest skater and that other one. So nice work to everyone that jumped on that. What's the text line saying?
Well, text line 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Great NHL weekend. McDavid was a lock. Also got Matthews for the All-Star MVP at 12-1. Put a bit of the profits on McDavid for the Art Ross. So I don't even know where that sits. I didn't look at it today because that was up to 18. That was 18-1 on Friday. Let's see where it's at right now. Art Ross winners to plus 1750. So some slight movement on that one as well. Has anything else from All-Star Weekend? I think we kind of touched on a lot of things.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, the All-Star Weekend, and by the way, I'm kicking myself for not betting the Matthews MVP.
Storyline alone.
Well, for sure. And you recall, I hit it last year with Kachuk.
Yeah, you did. That's right.
And it was that same theory. I don't know how I kind of forgot that, or it had escaped me, but that was sort of the theme. If a bunch of guys score goals, you know what, they'll probably lean towards the guy at home. And man, that's twice in a row. Coming out of this weekend, though, winners and losers, not hockey related. The winners was Liv, and the losers was the PGA Tour.
That's a fair point.
So you've got Joakim Niemann shoots a 59 earlier and sort of reminds everyone that a Liv tournament is actually being played. Wyndham Clark comes back with the crazy 60 on the PGA Tour, but the atmospheric river that is going through Southern California right now kiboshes the rest of the tournament. There's no final round for the PGA. Meanwhile, Liv, Sergio and Niemann go 4 holes deep into a playoff that finishes in the dark with lights.
They had the lights from the screen. Yeah, it looked awesome.
Yeah. And listen, I think we all know that Liv has incredible talent on their tour. They poached some of the biggest names, the addition of John Rahm and the newest team. And full disclosure, I did not watch much of it. I was catching a few updates, but I was busy yesterday afternoon. But I'm hoping that they do a better job on the broadcast of letting us know about the rest of the teams. Like, it always blows me away. You'll have a guy that's minus 12 leading, and then they've got the team stats at the bottom, and their team is at plus 8. Well, they never tell you the other guys that are blowing up right now, the reason why the cliques are at plus 8 when one of their players is leading the tournament.
Yeah.
That is a pet peeve of mine. But the addition of John Rahm, having some big names, going down the stretch and in that playoff, and to do it unopposed by the PGA Tour. And the other reason why Liv's a big winner, and I've seen a ton of this coming forth, and we all know how frustrating it is to watch PGA Tour golf because of how many commercials there are. It's now, maybe this is a problem that Liv will get at some point when some companies actually feel like they want to advertise on their product. But right now, the golf viewing experience to be honest, is it's a first round knockout for Liv, compared to what's happening on the PGA Tour. So now we're going to Waste Management this week. Always, a wild event that is kind of different than everything else. They'll finish up early on Saturday in time for Super Bowl Sunday. So I think it's very important the PGA Tour has a good week, because despite the fact that it was an elevated event at Pebble Beach, score one for Liv if you're into the golf wars right now.
Man, we haven't said that very often, have we? Like,
No.
you sitting here just straight up being score one for Liv, really in an undebatable fashion. You mentioned Waste Management. We're going to have to dive into those picks tomorrow, because that's a Wednesday start, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays. Yeah, it starts on the 7th. I mean, if they're wrapping up Saturday, I would have to. I just looked.
They've always done the maybe they did move it. I mean, in the past,
It says February 7th to 11th. So that would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Well, the 11th is Sunday.
Well, it says 7th to 11th.
Maybe
Does it still just start on Thursday? Yeah, it says February 7th to 11th.
Let's see here.
So it ends early Sunday morning. Maybe they're just including the Wednesday round.
Yeah, Pro-Am or something.
Yeah. That must be what it is.
Because normally
I just don't want to. I don't want to miss those picks.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, speaking of this week, when do you guys leave?
5:00 tonight. Yeah, we're going to be at the Sphere tonight. So it's going to be it's going to be a whirlwind, buddy. Like, we're not just going down, like, doing the morning show and then have nothing else to do. I probably should have just been like, we'll do the morning show down there. We're doing all 7 hours from Vegas. And then we've got, like, our partners down there schedules, like, lunches, Top Golf, Stadium Swim, and Oilers game Tuesday night. So it's pretty go. But the only free time technically we have is, like, Wednesday evening. So we'll probably get up to something Wednesday evening. But NFL fan events on Thursday afternoon. We'll go there, and then we're flying back Thursday night at like 8. So pretty busy 3 days. I don't know how much sleep there's going to be, to be honest with you. Like, we're going on the air at 5 a.m. Vegas time. So, I mean, we're going to have to be up at 4:30, 4 o'clock. So, yeah, I don't know.
Where are you doing the show from?
Well, we'll be doing it at Park MGM. It's either going to be on their conference room level or from our rooms. We have to determine that when we get there tonight, and we can check out the setup. So, yeah, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. So, anyway, yeah, we're looking forward to it. My Waste Management Open picks, doing it Wednesday. I might not be in the best shape, buddy. I'm not going to lie. But
you might be in a state of waste management yourself. Oh my God, I'm cracking up just thinking of this. If you guys actually did the show in, like, somewhat of a public area, it's like, good morning, Edmonton. It's time for the Nielsen show
at 5 a.m.
And it's 5 a.m. in a casino in Vegas. Some of the shit that would be going on around you. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. We'll see. I mean, we have 3 rooms. Each of us have our own room, so we could kind of move things around in one room and just set up, like, a real nice look in there. And we got somebody from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority coming by just to talk about, like, Vegas growing as a sports destination as opposed to just a gambling and party city, right? So that'll be good. I'll be interested to chat with her about a lot of the stuff they got going on. So she's going to come by tomorrow morning and kind of set the stage. And then, I wish we would have known we were doing this earlier in December before the deadline for Radio Row, because that would have been awesome. But we didn't know we were doing it till like 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And it was too late. So still going to be awesome, though. Can't wait.
Next year, again, commitment. Next year, we'll be doing our shows. This will be the first day of shows from Radio Row in New Orleans, which is honestly, like, the thing with Vegas right now, and you guys are going to Vegas, but, people have been there quite a bit. It's not quite as cheap as it used to be.
Yeah, it's changed a bit.
And especially, when all the high rollers are in for a weekend like this. But I'm telling you right now, I mean, the New Orleans, New Orleans for Super Bowl week is just I always remember being there, and it felt like I was on another continent or like you're in a different country.
Really?
It's dude, that whole culture down there is so different than anything you've seen before, or been involved in. So, and they certainly know how to have a good time down there. So that's the goal for 12 months from now. And I should be able to do. I think I should be good for the show on Friday.
Okay, cool.
Because I think my flight, like I'm gonna have to leave. I'm hoping to do about the first little bit of Winnipeg sports talk, and then I'm gonna have to get out. But we should be good for final Super Bowl preparation and final Super Bowl.
You got to be there on the Friday of Super Bowl, right? You got to be there. You got to be there.
I mean, the only way I wouldn't have been is if my flight was in time. But I'm going late enough in the afternoon that we'll be able to make that happen. And great news. I've been waiting to make most of my prop bets as we go through the week, but Jerick McKinnon activated from the IR. He's returning to practice this week. He should be part of it. I immediately went. In fact, he wasn't listed, and I had to send Coolbet a DM. Can you please get Jerick McKinnon listed on the
I knew you would do something like that. Like, so what'd you get him at? What'd you get him at?
So it's locked in. I think he's plus 550. He's basically right there with like it wasn't. I thought maybe it would be a bit more. I thought I heard of a 600 out there, but if you look at the TD scorers right now.
Yeah, sitting there 550 with MVS and CEH.
Plus 550, yeah. I mean, they'll go Pacheco, obviously. Pacheco's minus 125. And he's always got a few wrinkles, especially in big games like this, in and around the goal line. McKinnon is a perfect guy for that. He really trusts him as well. So anyways, I wanted to make sure I got in on McKinnon, thinking that number might go down, but
man, I'm looking right there right now. Like, how is Travis Kelce only minus 110? Like, Patrick Mahomes is throwing a Super Bowl touchdown to Travis Kelce, is he not? Like, I look at that number and I go, man, minus 110 for Travis Kelce with what's been going on in the playoffs and everything that's going on around that guy right now. There's no chance he doesn't have a receiving touchdown here.
Yeah, pretty sure Kelce touchdown is in the script. How else are they going to go to Taylor all that time? See, it's all part of it's that union between the Swifties and the Chiefs kingdom.
I also don't hate this. I mean, if you're looking Kelce to score a touchdown in each half, 10-1 plus 1,000. I don't mind that at all.
You know, if you think about who scored the touchdowns so far, like in these last few weeks for the playoffs, it's been all Kelce. It's been Pacheco.
I'm going to get on that Kelce number right now.
I guess Rashee Rice did get one. He had one in the Miami game. I like Rice in the game though. Like just for an anytime touchdown scorer. Trying to see he's at plus 138. Kelce's going to get tons and tons of attention, and I'm not sure that Niners secondary is going to be able to lock down Mr. Rice, and he's certainly become the number one receiver if you're calling Travis Kelce a tight end. So I think both of those guys will get targeted a ton. But Pacheco will run the football, but the wrinkle of McKinnon, going to be interesting to see about his, like, let's see his receiving. I'm just going to see if he's been added to these reception numbers here. Kittle. Yeah, not yet, but I imagine there will be some McKinnon props when it comes to receiving yards, players' receptions. Where the heck's players' receiving yards? Am I missing this? Do you see receiving yard? Oh, yeah, there we are.
Sorry, I've been lost in the pregame props right now.
Yeah. I'm just looking. So, yeah, at some point this week, we'll get McKinnon receiving and reception props, as well as probably a little bit of some rushing. although those rushing numbers probably won't be huge. What are the pregame props you're looking
Well, I'm
at?
just looking at it right now. I mean, obviously, coin toss stuff. The main color of Reba's hat, red is plus 200, brown is plus 300, black is plus 350. To be shown first during the national anthem, Patrick Mahomes minus 175, Brock Purdy plus 135. Any word omitted in the national anthem, if that happens, you can get yes at plus 900. The length of America the Beautiful set at 109.5. And this is an interesting one. Any scoring drive shorter than the national anthem length, yes, minus 300. No, plus 200. So if you think there will not be a scoring drive shorter than the length of the national anthem, you can get it at plus 200 right now.
So the anthem, so basically a 2-minute drive. So essentially any special teams touchdown, any pick six, any return would be yes.
Yeah.
Or a drive, let's just call it 2 minutes, a drive. Any scoring drive?
It's a scoring drive, so that would be a field goal too, right?
Whoa.
Yeah, so that changes that. It changes that.
And what was it again? It's yes?
Yes is minus 300. No is plus 200.
Okay, that sort of makes sense.
That makes more sense when you include the field goals in that conversation, right?
Yeah. And then, we got the coaches too for the national anthem.
Yeah, Andy Reid
minus 167, Kyle Shanahan plus 125.
That number overall is just settled in now in the game. Hey, Huss, just 2. That's where it's at. No moving now, still a long ways.
It hasn't moved all weekend.
Yeah.
Hasn't moved all weekend. But I am seeing some people that last week said, no matter what, I'm betting the Chiefs, I'm betting Mahomes, that are now talking themselves into the 49ers.
Really? It's happening again, eh? It's happening again.
It's happening again, which is fine. As I said, I mean, I still sort of think that we might see this number come down a bit in the Chiefs to I think it'll still be plus money, but maybe plus 105, plus 108, something like that. I don't think we're going to go more to the Niners side, but I could be wrong. If all of a sudden the public sentiment is sort of shifting to, hey, the Niners have been the best team all year. This is their time, I guess. I'm not sure, but the fact that you got Mahomes on one side and Brock Purdy on the others, and I know there's a lot of talk about Brock Purdy and what a great story he is. There hasn't been a lot of talk about what, put it this way, if he plays the way he did for 3 quarters against the Packers, as well as for a half against the Lions, I'm not sure that there's the opportunity to come back and win this game in the 4th quarter. So anyways, we've got, we could basically go through props all week long. You know what? They also have point scorer props. So Christian McCaffrey is plus 275, but then you've got the kickers. Harrison Butker,
yes,
450, Jake Moody plus 450, and then Pacheco and Kelsey. And then the first point scorers is also in the books. Butker and Jake Moody at 4-1, McCaffrey at plus 550. If you go all the way down, let's see here, pretty much everyone, it's all offensive players. Oh, you can get any other Chiefs player, any other Niners player for 40-1. So that would be, if, for instance, a pick six or a safety, a fumble return or something like that was the first play. Basically, you got the defensive guys at 40-1 as a group bet.
I also love the fact that I'm just sitting here. I'm in the head-to-head category. Head-to-head player to have most receiving yards. You can actually get that much talked about Justin Watson, Jawan Jennings matchup head-to-head. Justin Watson minus 120, Jawan Jennings plus 100. So they got 4 different matchups there. Kelsey, Kittle, Rice, Ayuk, Watson, Jennings, and then Pacheco and McCaffrey in the receiving yards.
That's in the player head-to-head?
Player H2H. Yep, player head-to-head.
So Mahomes, Purdy, passing yards. Mahomes minus 128. Pick him on the kickers.
Yeah.
McCaffrey, big favorite over Pacheco. I'm fine with that. It just can't be more than 68 yards more than Pacheco because we need.
You're still working on that for the future. Yeah.
18-1, 18-1. We got a nice cushion going into this one. And then, wow, Kelsey minus 204.
On
One
Kittle.
thing about Kittle is Kittle sometimes hits for big ones. Like that is he hasn't always. I mean, I kind of was going through his game logs, and there had been, 5 catches, 43 yards, sort of more regular tight end numbers. But I will tell you this: if the Chiefs get up, Kittle could have a big. Like Kittle seems to be a guy they really go to when they're down. When the defenses are a little bit playing a little bit off, he's a pretty reliable receiver. Rashee Rice and Ayuk minus 120 and plus 100. I like Rice there. I think he's going to get lots of balls. And the thing that Ayuk is going to have to deal with is probably L'Jarius.
I was going to say, he's going to be in a tough spot defensively.
I did not expect a Justin Watson, Juwan Jennings matchup.
I know. There we are. Hey, Debo's just like, how am I not included in this? What's going on? This is an interesting one. It's on the yards leader tab. Like we said, we could sit here for a week and just go through these. Player to lead the game in yards from scrimmage. McCaffrey's minus 182. Obviously a huge favorite here. But Duck Dad brought this to my attention for a little discussion point here on the Lock Shop today. And if you're listening, you can text us 780-218-9999. If you're watching on YouTube, obviously give us a sub for Edmonton Sports Talk. We'd appreciate that. Pacheco plus 350. Brandon Ayuk plus 850. And if you like Travis Kelce to lead the game in yards from scrimmage, have to have a huge one, considering McCaffrey is involved in this game, but 9-1 for Travis Kelce to go off and lead the game in yards from scrimmage.
Tom Halleck is in chat saying, where do you find the Kelce in each half prop? If you go to TD Scorer, on the right side there, and I guess depending on your browser, you might have to go down or press view more, but there is a prop where it's to score a touchdown in each half, overtime excluded. And on the left, it's those numbers. McCaffrey's 4-1, Pacheco's 8, Kelsey's 10. And then on the right side of that, there is to score a touchdown in the first quarter. So not necessarily the first touchdown, but a touchdown at any point in the first quarter. That is plus 550. So those are all there for you as well.
This is pointed out by Rod Z. Christian McCaffrey, 2 touchdowns, plus 230, which isn't a bad number for Christian McCaffrey in a game like this, I think. So Kelsey's plus 650, but I said earlier, if you go Kelsey 1 touchdown in each half, I can get it at plus 1,000. Add a little bit more to that, which would be good. Oh, here, look at this one. Look at this one. Combined jersey numbers of all touchdown scorers, passers excluded, 158.5. The over 158.5 plus 100. The under 158.5 minus 120. I desperately want to do some homework on this one.
Okay, so let's just think about this. Let's just look at so McCaffrey's number 23, Pacheco's 10, Kelsey at 87. Like this,
oh, that hurts.
The over,
yeah.
If you have the over, you need Kelsey in a big way, because the Niner receivers are all for the most part, the Niner receivers are all teens.
Brandon Ayuk's 11.
Debo's 19. Rashee Rice, for that matter, is 4.
Ooh, that hurts.
What about Kittle? Kittle's 85.
Yeah, is Kittle?
So the tight end. The tight ends are the key players in this. Like I'll go on the record as saying this. If Kittle or Kelsey don't get into the end zone,
that's going to be tough to do.
That's automatic under. Unless the game is like 55-52, which I don't think.
If Kelsey does it twice, you're over, though, by himself. So.
Yeah. Well, or Kelsey or Kittle.
Kelsey or Kittle twice by himself. Yeah, if you're looking for tight end game, where do you come out on the number of 5.5 touchdowns scored in this game?
Well, if you look at the way the Chiefs have played this year, and especially lately, and I think the Ravens game is a perfect example. I mean, they got a couple early, felt they were in a good position, and really just managed the ball in the second half. Like it going back 9 or 10 weeks, they haven't given up more than 7 points in the second half of a game. Now, you're playing the best team, you've played all year, so maybe that does change. But 5.5 touchdowns. I might lean the under there. But listen, I think it's a good line. I mean, I think
it's a great line. Yeah, no, it's a good line. That's exactly what I was going to say right off the top.
I mean, both of these teams can score. Both of these teams have relatively good defenses. I guess we'll find out. That might not be something I actually bet, but we can certainly spend some time thinking about it. Although over 6 touchdowns, 21. Geez, I leaned under initially, kind of thinking about the Chiefs defense, but man, the Chiefs are going to be like, they're going to open up the playbook a little bit more. And you have to think that the Niners are going to be able to get theirs as well at some point. So is it like 110 on both sides?
I think it was close. I don't have it up right now, but I think it was close.
Okay. Last touchdown jersey scorer number 19.5 over or under for the last touchdown in the game. That's
under 19.5.
Yeah. So again, that's Debo, Ayuk.
Yeah, but not McCaffrey and Kelsey.
Right? No, not McCaffrey or Kelsey or Kittle or Justin Watson.
This guy's just convincing himself on and over as we do the show, which I love. Look, we got lots more to get to on the Super Bowl. It'd be awesome to be set up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Vegas. Kind of get a vibe for the feel there. It's gloomy. It's like pouring rain right now. It's only gonna be about 12, 13 degrees this week, and raining today and tomorrow. I still brought shorts because I don't care. I mean, we're from Edmonton. I'll roll around in a t-shirt and shorts. It could be 8 degrees and raining. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
it'll be fine. Hey, go ahead, bud.
I have been there. I did go like right around this time at one point. And I actually maybe it was the last time I was going to visit Gary because I actually was staying at the Park MGM right across from the rink. And walked out the day after I got there, and there was about 1 inch of snow on the ground. So I don't think you'll see that, but you will be prepared. It might not be that. It might not be that gorgeous outside, as far as what we're usually.
I'm not usually a big soak in the sun guy in Vegas anyway. I like being indoors in Vegas. So
yeah, all that oxygen in the casino floor.
It feels so good. It smells so nice in there. Huss, NHL returns tonight. We do have a couple of games tonight in the National Hockey League.
I was blown away.
I know.
That kind of caught me off guard that they're going to get right back to it so quickly. But the Jets practiced yesterday. Monahan joined his new team, and
where they slot him in second line there. Still second line.
Yeah. He's going to be there. He's going to be there with Nikolai Ehlers and Cole Perfetti to get things going. Vlad Nemestikov will move down to the fourth line. I know. I mean, Jets, they'll play in Pittsburgh tomorrow. But 2 pretty interesting games for you for that play of the day today to get things going this week. Actually, by the way, when you're doing your plays of the day on the road, let's get some good backgrounds on this. Maybe even when you're at the Sphere, log one in beforehand and just bang it off. Some good
nice backgrounds. That's a good idea. That's a great idea, actually. Just the 2 games today. I'm curious to know your thoughts on the Islanders and Leafs game because we dove into this one a bit on our Cool Bet hotline today, and I took the Islanders as a dog at plus 141. Letdown spot here for the Leafs.
I think that there's put it this way, I think it's worth it to bet that side.
That number on that side, yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, while the Leafs, all their players were very busy, taking part in everything in a lot of ways, sort of being the hosts. But you had, I mean, I didn't notice Marner as much, but man, I noticed a ton of Nylander, and obviously Austin Matthews goes without saying. So you have the parties, the entertaining, all the excitement of it.
Bieber
You finish
kicking
it up.
around, like being buddies all weekend.
Bieber, you don't. Biebs was keeping Matthews out late.
Oh,
on Saturday night.
guaranteed.
For sure. That's the one other thing, just quickly, that I really missed from All-Star break or All-Star weekend that I needed, in addition to more Bones Tate McRae content from their coaching conversation. I was just praying that Jets social media could have somehow got a picture of Bones wearing that ridiculous jacket that Bieber was rocking. Did you see that thing?
Did he put? Oh, I saw the jacket. For a second, I thought you said he put it on. I was like, no, we didn't.
That's what I wanted to happen.
Gosh. I was like, how did I miss that?
That was the other thing that I really wanted to see happen at the All-Star break. But yeah, I'm pumped that we've got 2 games tonight. I was not expecting it. And yeah, like, here's the other thing about the Islanders, and like, I'll just bring this up right now. So as we get into this race to the deadline and the playoffs, the Islanders right now are 6 points back of a wild card spot. There's actually a real big gap between Toronto and Detroit, who are in those wild card spots, and then the rest of the group. Now, I guess the Islanders are Philly's at 56 points with 50 games played in the Metropolitan. They've lost 5 in a row. Obviously, Carter Hart is gone. We'll see whether they can sort of steady the ship and get right back out of it. That break came for them at a pretty darn good time. The Islanders, though, have lost 3 in a row after Patty Roy took over. They have 1 game in hand on the Wings and are 6 points back. There's 6 back of the Leafs, who have 2 games in hand on them. And then you've got Pittsburgh sniffing around. They've only played 46 games and are at 51 points. The bottom line is anybody with games in hand are going to need to win those games in hand, which is a big F, to get, up around the cusp of where those teams already are right now. And I think based on the fact that they've got 3 games in hand, we can pretty much give a playoff spot to the Leafs. There's no way
I would
that they
think
fall. So here's the question. Does Philly fade? And all of a sudden, a team like the Islanders or Pittsburgh gets in the division? Bottom line is, for a team like New York that wasn't very good going into the break, you'd have to think that Pat Roy is going to be getting these guys ready to go, to jump on a team that might not be ready to play. I get the narrative, and I'll be with you on this. I mean, sometimes they are a favorite for a reason, but I do think that there's a reason to think that as a plus 141 dog on the road in Toronto, with everything that happened on the weekend with the Leafs, that the Islanders might be able to get an incredibly valuable 2 points. So I think I'll ride with you on that one. What about straight up pick 'em?
I know.
The Avalanche and the Rangers. And, the Rangers kind of slumped going into the break. They were 4-5-1 in their last 10. And then you look at Colorado, they had been great. I mean, like the Jets, Colorado, and Dallas have just been going toe to toe at the top of that division. 2 points separating all three teams. The Jets do have 2 games in hand, so they're technically in a better position points wise. But Colorado, I mean, every game's important. You mentioned this before. I mean, in both the Pacific and the Central Division, winning the division is so huge. I mean, getting to play one of those wild card teams as opposed to being in the 2-3. The 2-3 series in both the Central and the Pacific are going to be absolute wars, and there's going to be a great team bowing out in the first round. So where those teams are now, I do wonder, both of their goalies were in the is this going to be a battle of the backups tonight with Quick
extra
and,
day off, right?
Quick and Prosvetov? We should quickly check
I'm going to look that up right now for you here.
Goalies.
It says right now Georgiev is likely and Quick is likely.
Well, that gives me more confidence in Colorado. But
yeah,
how many Avs guys were in it? McKinnon,
McKinnon,
no
Rantanen, and then Georgiev. So just the three.
Georgiev, okay,
Yeah.
the three of those guys, and then obviously Shesterkin was the guy from the Rangers. Quick's been awesome.
Quick has been awesome. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking. I think I might. I mean, I don't like jumping back into it so quickly, and I don't know where these numbers. I know there's a few guys who said they're going to try to stay away from like some player props this week, just because guys might be a little bit sluggish. I think on this side, I might lean towards Jonathan Quick. Coming off some rest for an older guy, getting the start for the Rangers here, just at home in this spot at -108. But it's a great hockey game. Like, this is one I just kind of want to sit back and see how it plays out.
I assume, is there a national game on Mondays? There usually is. I assume that with everybody in Toronto, not that the media isn't usually there anyways, but they're probably going to be going with that Islanders Leaf game. Maybe we go a little New York combo tonight.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Big Apple boys, and see how it plays out. What would that pay?
Do they let's see if they may already have an exclusive on that.
Yeah, I was going to whip through the exclusives a little bit later on. I could see them already having that. Let's see here. They do not.
No,
they do not.
They don't.
It's plus 364. It's plus 364. So
yeah, they probably give us 4-1 on that.
There. Yeah, no, I think that would probably get up to 4-1. So, yeah, okay. Let's. I don't know if Jake or Pat are watching right now, but let's do it.
I gotta run. But I'll text them.
Yeah, you text them. Okay, perfect. I'm going to talk about this
and get that in there. Oh, and by the way, if you check out the CoolBet Instagram,
yeah, I'm going to get to it,
or my Instagram. I don't know if it's up on yours. There is a post, and it's pretty simple, gang. All you got to do is follow us and make a prediction in the comments. And they've got a nice bundle, a CoolBet merch bundle of the hoodie. Dusty's wearing it, maybe the best hoodie I've ever had.
Buddy, I rotate 4 of these. I got 4 of these. They're the exact same hoodie. I just rotate through them. They're amazing.
Yeah, they're so good. And the CoolBet toque that you see is there's nothing like a good toque that fits well, that's warm. This one is it, and obviously a lid too. But the hoodie, toque, some great merch stuff. So it's literally the easiest thing you can do. I am on Twitter and Instagram at Hustlerama. What are you? You got different ones. What are you, Nielsen81?
I'm Nielsen81 on Instagram because I usually just post pictures of my kids. And then D Nielsen 81, I think. And then obviously I'm still Nielsen TSN 1260. I haven't changed the old handle yet, so I got to do that at some point. But yeah, I just retweeted it as well. Yeah, all you got to do is predict the exact score. Get on that CoolBet prize pack. So that's gonna be good. All right, Huss. Winnipeg Sports Talk coming up here right away. We'll let you go, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? You might want to pop in when you're done, whatever you do after this. Jeff Hamilton's coming on, and we're going to talk some Jet stuff at the start.
CFL tampering window?
He is so dialed into all of this that there'll be some nugs for you CFL fans as far as what could or what is happening around the league right now as this goes on. I'm sure he's been on the phone with agents and whatnot all morning. So we'll look forward to doing that. And then I guess tomorrow I'll be jumping on and you'll be somewhere in Sin City.
Or we'll have no content at all because it just got off the rails tonight. We'll see how it goes. It should be fun. We're looking forward to it. I'll talk to you tomorrow, buddy. Have a good show.
Take care, fellas.
There's Huss, Winnipeg Sports Talk coming up right away. You mentioned you're going to have Jeff Hamilton on. He's right. He's tuned in on the Canadian Football League, and the old tampering window is up and running, so that's good. If you are listening online at Edmonton Sports Talk, please tell your friends how simple it is to consume our content on TuneIn or at edmontonsportstalk.com. And, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can chime in over there as well. Rod Z is shouting out the CoolBet merch. It is comfy. Yeah, man, this is by far – I love the way it looks, but it is also by far the most comfortable hoodie that I have. Actually, that's a lie. When I was in Disneyland last year, we went on Splash Mountain. It was no lineup. We just kept crushing it. Me and my kids and my nieces. I was a hero because none of the my wife and my brother-in-law and sister didn't want to go. So I was just like, Uncle Bubba that's what they call me. Uncle Bubba will continue to ride this with you. So we went down over and over and over and over again. And then I was completely soaked. So I went back to one of the Star Wars shops, and I accidentally bought like a 4XL hoodie. And I won't wear it out in public. But around the house, I'll throw it on, and it is comfy. It's like a blanket. I'm lost in it. It's absolutely terrific. But, I mean, as far as hoodies that's supposed to fit well, this is extremely comfortable. It's good. And you got that giveaway right now. Big game, bold prediction for the merch. And just hop over. All you got to do is just go on, predict the score, make a pick, cross your fingers, enjoy the game. Let's take a look at some of the exclusives over at CoolBet for tonight. Now I got some multi-sports, and then obviously we got the NHL daily exclusives that we can get to as well. If there's anything that you specifically like tonight, let us know. We can pass it along to everyone else as well. Get to the multi-sports in a second. Saw Rod Z with a Lakers trend in there. I just have a hard time getting in on the Lakers no matter what right now. All right, points from the point. Fox, McCarr, and Morgan Riley all to record a point tonight, plus 240. You'll find these at CoolBet. If you're not yet signed up for an account, coolbet.com. Use the code LOCKSHOP when you do, and you get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. How sweet it is. Zibanejad with a point. Willie Nylander with 2 points. The Maple Laughs, Matthews and Marner, both under 1.5 points. Maple Leafs under 3.5 goals. Islanders to win. Hello. Little Beebs hangover. Plus 325. Don't mind if I do. Shots. Bo Horvat, Mitchie Marner, Trocheck, all to record 3+ shots. And then the Stars and Snipes, Chris Kreider and Austin Matthews, both to score tonight at plus 475. As for cool multi-sport exclusives today, the 6, Maple Leafs, Raptors both win. Maple Leafs win, Raptors plus 11.5, plus 250. Helping Hands, Luka, 10 assists. Nate McKinnon and Matt Barzal each to record an assist. Don't mind sprinkling that at plus 425. 2 for 1. Austin Matthews, 2 points. Steph Curry, 4 3-pointers. Rantanen with a goal, plus 625. And the city that never sleeps. Here's what we were talking about a little bit earlier on, but they've thrown in the Brooklyn Nets. We want just Islanders and Rangers, but Rangers, Islanders, and Nets all to win at plus 775. Let's bring us to a quick look at the association. The Nets at home tonight against the Warriors as a minus 108, which is why that number jumped from like plus 364 to plus 775. The Clippers have been absolutely rolling, minus 172 on the road against the Hawks. I think they're 25-5 in their last 30. Raptors plus 440 dogs on the road against the Pelicans. Lakers 12.5 point favorites on the road tonight against the Hornets. What was the Rod Z trend? Lakers have covered the spread in 10 straight road games versus the Hornets. Might take some of the under on the bigger boy player props there because, with LeBron and AD being banged up a bit, if they can get ahead, I could see them dialing those guys back. I think their numbers are 26.5 and 24.5. Kings plus 135. They're 3.5 point dogs on the road at minus 108. And then that Luka game that we're talking about, the Dallas Mavericks on the road against the Sixers without Joel Embiid. And the Mavs are 3-point road favorites in that one. That game also has your highest total of the night at 244.5. Anytime you're listening to The Lock Shop, you can hit us up, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. This text is in. It says, oh, my God, I'd love some merch. I need one of those white hats still. Yeah, those white hats, it's like spotting like a white grizzly bear. Very few. I don't know. I think Maddie wants. Maddie, you wearing your white CoolBet hat right now? He is. They're just rare. They're rare. Maddie's got one. I got one. Rick's got one. I don't know how many other people got. I think YouTube Trev might have one. Yep. He says, yep, confirmed. Outside of that, those things are tough to find. But you never know. treat us right. Maybe we can track some down for you. All right, that's going to do it for the Lock Shop. We do have two guys in the goalie coming up. Tommy Gazzola off to Vegas with his parents, where we will join him a little bit later on today. Joaquin Gage is going to step in on the oil stream today. Lots to discuss as the Edmonton Oilers come out of the break, looking to pick up win 17. Might go over my my bold predictions from earlier on the Nielsen show today with Gager on the oil stream. So you can stick around for that. Actually, they weren't bold. I said they're just regular predictions, but we'll get to that coming up. Lock Shop, obviously nasty chat. Absolutely amazing every single day. Huss and I appreciate the support. Everybody here at Edmonton Sports Talk appreciates the support. Tell your friends about what we're doing over here and how it is very easy to consume things online because that's where everybody is in 2024. Thank you very much for joining us today. Good luck tonight. Go Islanders, and we will talk to you from Vegas tomorrow on the Lock Shop.